Tag, very nice, very evil.
That's tag shit.
Free fall as I die through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama, I don't really.
Tag Nation, what is going on? It's the bloodline of the IWC, them tag boys. You got Scooter Ray, hashtag justice for Scoot, and you got that boy Juggernaut 097, aka the Tag Rumble winner of 2025. Now, this past Sunday, AEW through AEW's Revolution at the Crypto.com arena, and with pre-show and with main show, this card boasts an impressive 13 matches. 13 matches that grace the card of AEW. Now, we're going to fly through the pre-show unless Judge got some bars to get off. But the first match of the pre-show, you had a tag team match. You had Hologram and Commander taking on Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. I don't know what this match was for. I don't know why it happened, but it happened because they was even saying how this was Blake Christian and Lee Johnson's like first time truly interacting and tagging with each other. So it was like, so why are we doing this then? But
yeah, exactly. I mean, the match was here. I mean, most of these matches on the 0 hour, they don't mean basically anything. It's like
nothing.
We'll get
There's only maybe one, possibly two, that truly has some storyline stuff going on, and that's only if you've been keeping up with AEW. But Hologram and Commander gets the dub. I mean, Hologram is still on an undefeated streak. He has yet to be pinned or submitted. He has not taken any L's since he has been in AEW. The next match,
Hologram is Tony Khan. Like, prove me wrong. Tony Hologram Khan. That is him under that mask.
For the longest, I actually thought Hologram was Sammy Guevara until it was like, okay, now they kind of built a little differently. But
it kind of does like Sammy Guevara a little bit. Yeah, not gonna lie.
I thought it was Sammy Guevara.
Prove me wrong. That is Tony Khan under a mask.
That would be hilarious. That would be like one of the biggest swerves in wrestling. That this whole time Hologram was Tony Khan. That would be hilarious.
Oh, that's funny.
But next up, we had actually, nope, it wasn't the next up. Hold on. I got my order wrong. Technically, it was I think this was the next match. I don't remember, but it doesn't matter. For the Ring of Honor Championship, you had Chris Jericho taking on Gravity. And before the match could even start, Chris Jericho bashes Gravity with the bat, and they just proceed to jump him. Bandito runs out to try to save his brother. It didn't work. They ripped his mask off. They ripped Gravity's mask off, proceeded to just jump the man, and that was pretty much that match. So, yeah.
I mean, it looks like they're setting up Chris Jericho and Bandito
again.
I don't know, again, like on a Dynamite or a Ring of Honor show. I don't know what they're doing with Ring of Honor.
I don't know.
And stuff.
I don't know what's happening either, but yeah, it was a no contest because the match never happened. But I think the true next match of the night was Daniel Garcia in the Undisputed Kingdom of Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, Adam Cole versus Shane Taylor promotion. You know, Shane Taylor, the Ring of Honor Pure Champion, Tiger Style. I just forgot his name just that fast. Lee Moriarty.
Yeah,
and then of course you got Charlie Bravo and Sean Dean. Personally speaking, I am getting real tired of the weird start-stop pushes they keep doing with Shane Taylor in Shane Taylor promotions, because there will be times they will build them up as this powerhouse faction, and then they run into these roadblocks, pun intended, and then it's like, why keep building these gentlemen up? Because you even had Sean Dean and Charlie Bravo joined STP, and then it's like you had all of this going, and then they run into all these roadblocks. They never get an official leg up on competition. Like they'll get these matches, they'll lose these matches, they'll beat down their opponents within the matches, and then it's just like, all right, thank y'all for doing what y'all need to do, STP. And it's like, what?
Hey, put me on solo for a minute. Put me on the big screen.
Yeah.
Because I gotta tell something about this match.
There you go, big dog. Hold on. Matter of fact, let me take the graphics off. Go ahead.
Okay. Let me get my bars off here. Why do they have Adam Cole on the 0 hour? Adam Cole, Daniel Garcia's, and the whole Undisputed Kingdom. Why are they on the pre-show? Like, why? Is that
wait till we get to the main event of the pre-show?
Is that what this team has turned into? A bunch of jobbers, like a bunch of mid-carders, like Tony Khan. What are you doing with Adam Cole right now? Like, I don't understand. Because Adam Cole, he could be a bigger star. Like the stuff he was doing last year. I don't know. It's just mind-boggling what they're doing with Adam Cole right now. And when I saw him like on the 0 hour, like, what? I had to call one of my buddies. I was like, what? He's actually on the 0 hour.
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing here? Why is he on here? Like, he should be on the main card, not the 0 hour. But hey, that's me.
But yeah, I mean, Jug said it best. But yeah, especially too because they keep building up this feud between Cole and Garcia. It kind of sort of came to head when Garcia tagged himself and proceeds to hit the dragon lock or whatever, the dragon something,
the dragon screw or some of that, or dragon lock, it
was whatever his submission was.
Yeah,
and he proceeds to win the match that way, and it was like, okay. It was like, okay. And I think they announced Cole and Garcia finally, but if not, whatever. Like, whatever. But yeah, and then of course the main event of the 0 hour, which, going back to Judge's point, we have the team of Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, Big Boom AJ versus the MXM Collection and Johnny TV. And the first thing the missus said was, if I was all of these wrestlers, I'll be like, right, I have to really compete in this match with Big Boom AJ. Like, I have to really do this.
Like, get Big Boom AJ off my TV screen. Like, I'm tired of seeing these Costco guys on there. Like, I do not care about them at all. Like, they're for the TikTokers out there. You know, this is for the young kids out here who are into bring the boom. You know, who that jazz. Like, I'm not into that. I'm sorry.
At all. The fact that he is 2-0 in AEW right now is crazy.
That's wild.
Crazy.
I don't understand. Like, please get him off my TV screen. I actually didn't even watch the match. I went to go get some food.
So funny enough, it was on, and like this match lasted a while. Like, that was the crazy part. Like, I want to say this match got at least about a good 10 minutes.
And Orange Cassidy, him being on the 0 hour as well. Like, why?
Another travesty. But hey, this is where we at, and this is what it was. And it was like, okay, can we get to the actual show now? And to start off the show, a grudge match between Hangman Adam Page and MJF. My goodness. What a way to start off the pay-per-view. Like, it was actually kind of wild that it was like, wait, we starting off with Hangman and MJF?
You know, I had a feeling that they were going to start out the match. Started out with this match because MJF he likes to go on first, or he likes to be the main event. He doesn't like to be like in the middle of the card. He likes to.
I can see
like,
that.
He likes to set the tone of the show, because he said, like, on a press conference or a media scrum a long time ago, because like he doesn't want to be wrestled around in all the sweat and all the blood that happened later on in the show. Because I mean, there was a lot of blood.
Oh, because it's gonna be much of that.
Much so, yes. But no, this match right here, Oh man, this was brutal. I mean, that pile driver that Max did on that steel chair. Oh my god, dude! I thought they were gonna have to, pull out the X, go like, oh no, call off the match here. So that would have been smart to do. You could have kept Hangman looking strong.
Yeah.
Also, MJF, he was crashing out. He was going like, "Why you? Why do you get all the love and I don't?" He was definitely crashing out.
And I could actually appreciate that level of storytelling, because it's like, how is it that you've done these despicable things?
Yes,
I haven't even done over most of the shit you've done, and they still cheer you like nothing. Like, you burned people's house down, you drank blood, you hit people. I mean, you stuck a syringe in somebody's face, you ruined the career of Christopher Daniels, and here it is, they still cheer you, they still love you, they still want to be in your side. So I really do love that layer of storytelling, because it's like, how is it that you can do these despicable things but they love you? I come out and just talk some shit and they hate me.
It don't make any sense there. I mean, MJF is the true hero in this rivalry. I mean, seriously. And to be honest,
you're not necessarily wrong.
But I mean, the match was great. I love the storytelling. Max, he did some great selling in the match. I also like when he did that kind of hip thrust on Adam Page at the beginning of the match. That was funny. They were doing some nice counters with each other. I mean, it was a good match.
Yeah.
But I'm just surprised that they made MJF lose, because I kind of where do they go from here? I mean, because I feel like they're going to do multiple matches here with them. I thought MJF was going to win, but so they gave it to Hangman.
When I made my predictions, there was no part of me was rooting for MJF in this. I 1000% felt like Hangman was going to win this. It would have legit surprised me if MJF would have won, because they're in this process of potentially doing a redemption arc.
Yeah.
And with Hangman, and I don't know how far it's going to go. I don't know if it's going to necessarily lead to him getting the belt back.
Well, what I'm saying, what I think they could do is maybe, like you said, this redemption arc. Maybe Hangman, he goes on this big run throughout, leading into the summer, and he gets a world title match at AEW All in Texas. Maybe. I don't know, because is he from Texas? Is he from
Hangman? No. Hangman's from Virginia.
Yeah, he's from Virginia, but still, I mean, it would make sense, to get that, one of being one of the first was he no, he wasn't the first homegrown AEW star to win the world title, was he?
Yes.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, so with that redemption arc right there, and seeing Hangman Page be more sympathetic and stuff like that. Hey, I mean that's a good story right there. So that does make sense.
But yeah, I definitely. Oh, and welcome Tag Nation, your current Tag in the Bank briefcase holder and current predictions champion, Lip Dizzle, y'all.
Yeah, I would like to say currently in the lead as well, but
no.
Can't say that.
Oh no, you got the shirt.
You got the ops. Oh my god.
You got the shirt.
So when we were having that conversation about it,
yeah,
I had that impulse buy, and I was like, I gotta get it.
I feel you.
Before we move on, anything you want to say about Hangman and MJF? Any thoughts?
Actually, I will. I'll say this, because it has to do, and it coincides with all the other matches, because I was actually watching Wrestle Talk earlier today.
Okay.
And Luke Owen said something that actually resonated with me in regards to the entirety of the show, because we've had this discussion about how the main card should be and how the main event scene should be in regards to AEW as a whole, and the way that he went through each match.
Okay.
And he talked about how all the matches on the card, I mean, aside from the women, I'm just speaking entirely about the men, how all the singles matches were all main event scene worthy to where when you look at the main event in comparison to all the other singles matches on the card, it's like all of these would be top contenders to take the spot as a match for the AEW Championship.
Okay.
So as far as I'm concerned, this match here should be another match that could potentially be for the AEW Championship, and this is one of the main reasons why the stuff with the Death Riders is a problem. Like, again, if they got a big payoff,
we will get that. We will get them bars off.
Absolutely. But yeah, again, if a situation where the title wasn't being held hostage, we would actually be in a better position with AEW as a whole. And I think this pay-per-view itself is a glaring representation of that. So
yes,
but this match itself, fantastic as far as character work goes. And Angel's wings on MJF was
it looked like his head hit the mat there. I go, oh man,
brutal.
He took that, and that pile driver, like I said earlier. That pile driver on that steel chair.
I will say this though. In defeat, MJF still looks strong with the fact that they allowed him to be taken out with basically considerably 3 different finishers back to back in order for him to get the pin. So hats off. Good start to the pay-per-view.
Okay, all right. Moving on to our next match, we had for the TBS Championship, we got Mercedes Moné, 4-belt Mercedes, going against Momo Watanabe. And gentlemen, I am going to say this, and I will let y'all take it away from here. Mercedes is really her. She really is her. But this could have been on Dynamite or Collision.
I agree. I 100% agree with that. This could have been on Dynamite. To be honest, there's a lot of matches that could have been. There's like a few matches in the middle that could have been cut from this show, like including this one right here. I mean, this isn't any different what I've seen Mercedes Moné do. I mean, this is one of her typical matches. You know, she was doing her whole dance and all that. You know, being very cocky. And then Momo Watanabe, I mean, there was no really story here. I mean, yeah, she won that match back at Wrestle Dynasty back in January, and then they have that history from Capital Collision last year and that New Japan show, which that was I think that match was better than this one, to be honest. That first match that they had. But I mean, Mercedes Moné retained her title, which was no surprise here. You know, I feel like they're going to be leading up to maybe throughout the these next few shows, maybe building up towards Billy Starks and Mercedes Moné. I feel like we're gonna get Athena and Mercedes at All in Texas. Yeah, that's the story we're gonna get.
I 1000% see that. 1,000.
And see, they start building up Billy Starks, really strong here on Dynamite and Collision. Having her rack up a whole bunch of wins. And then maybe, I don't know, should they do the match at Dynasty?
Why not? Why not?
The match with Billy Starks?
With Billy Starks, yeah.
Because then at least at Dynasty, you have the rest of April, May, and June to build up Mercedes and Athena. Yeah.
I think they should book it with her kind of dodging Athena. Maybe just a little bit. Not too much. Yeah, this match with Momo Watanabe, I'm not mad at it because I like the level of competition that they are giving Mercedes, even if it's somebody that she did wrestle in Japan already. I think it's good for the American side to see that, and I think it's a good way to continue to pepper up her title reign, because at this point she's going to have it for a while now. I think it would be a good thing to have her lose to Athena if we're just talking about the hypotheticals. If they do happen to have that match in at All In, I think this would be a good way to build up her whole reign, to make it look completely dominant versus, you know, the link that Jade Cargill had. Because again, nothing against Jade as far as AEW goes, but I think her reign was one of those things where it's a second nature dominant, where it's like you look at it and it's like, oh, she's expected to be this dominant because nobody else looks like she does on the roster. Whereas with the Mercedes, everything is built up with her ability and experience within the ring, just to show how good she actually is within the competition. So I think it's now at the point to where you don't really need to beat out Jade's, you know, longest reign. I don't think it's necessary. I think that's really just a petty thing for TK to do. But at the same time, I think that if you show the dominance with that championship reign, and then just continue to build the division on top of that, and then move Mercedes to the women's main event scene, I think it's better for the division as well as the company. So, but this match, I agree with everything that you guys had said, as far as it being something that you could potentially throw away, not in a bad way, just one of those things where something else probably could have taken that spot on the card. So,
and I have to say this, I feel like a lot of Mercedes matches, you know, they benefit her, but they don't really benefit like her opponents. Like, it doesn't really do anything for her opponents afterwards. I don't know if you guys feel the same way about that, but like say
it
Chris
is weird.
Statlander, for example, you know,
it worked for Stat at first. I think their first match, it worked out for them. And I think the second match it kind of helped Stat, but it didn't help Stat in the best of ways, because there was already weird booking situations between her first loss and then her second loss. So yeah, I agree.
Well, there you go. Mercedes is still 4 belts, Monet, and off to a next match that was for honor, for glory, for respect, for legacy, and for a #1 contendership. We have Swerve Strickland taking on Ricochet, and the winner will get a future title opportunity. And you know, I will say this. I'm still not the biggest on Ricochet's character.
Can't believe you, man.
But but I will admit, the boy can go.
He can go.
The boy can
100%.
The boy can
100%.
go. And when Ricochet has always been best when he has a feud. Because remember, harken back to NXT, him and Adam Cole, him and Velveteen Dream, you know, in WWE, when him and Braun Breaker before his exit. When Ricochet actually has direction, it's amazing. And since they're actually giving him direction, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him moving forward. But him having direction really does help Ricochet. And this match was a good one.
Okay, I'm gonna say this,
but it could have been on Dynamite. No, actually, no. I feel like
this needs to be here. Yeah, this was good.
But go ahead, Desmond. What you got?
I'm gonna say this. People within the comment section, people at the IWC, do not give me the backlash, because I guarantee you, if you take your time and you look at it, it's gonna make sense.
He's gonna say something backlash worthy, y'all.
This Ricochet heel turn is almost reminiscent of what happened with Rocky Maivia, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Rocky came in as a babyface initially, didn't really have, again, like Scoot said, no direction, nothing. That he just came in as just this, you know, second
white meat babyface.
Exactly, and came in with the smiles and everything like that. Didn't really talk much, and then they finally gave him the chance to, and he just unloaded. A lot of us completely shit on Ricochet's promo skills, because, or lack thereof, and he's always been booked as a babyface. Now, I'm not familiar with his work as Prince Puma. I mean, he had a mask on, so I don't know if he spoke as much anyway. So that also could have been part of that. But when we look at this and this whole, twisted, weird, psychopathic, serial killer-esque persona that he has, which I actually love. At first, it was kind of weird, but after I got into it, I was like, he has the look, and it's making sense. The more that he starts to talk, it's almost like he's coming into his own, and that's where the comparison that I'm alluding to when it comes to The Rock is that it took Rock to turn heel for him to come into his own and for people to accept him. I don't mean the comparison as in, he's exactly like The Rock, just in this instance here. And I think this is what's going to help build him up more, and at the same time make him way more comfortable at doing promos, because he's still a little rocky, but he has gotten immensely better than he was before. Mm-hmm. So
now, he definitely has gotten better, like compared to where he was at in WWE.
Oh, his cadence was horrible, and
it
now
was
he
horrible.
Actually,
yeah,
he has a pattern that he speaks in now, and it's a lot smoother, and it comes off more organic than it did before. He does get a few hiccups, like when they did the contract signing. There once he gets to a certain point, like if he starts talking, he'll get to that one part where it's like, oh, he's out of the comfortability area, so he can't go past a certain point. He needs to stay in this area here, talk for as much as he has here, and then just leave it at that. But he's doing fine right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm glad what I was thinking did not come into play with this match, because I was like, damn. Especially with him coming out with his own emblem on the robe, I was like, please don't let Nana swerve, and he aligns himself with Ricochet, because that would have broke my heart. Actually, that would have broke my heart more than John Cena turning heel.
Really?
Really?
Yes.
You think that would have been more devastating?
Okay, so the thing is, with John Cena turning heel, that's in the confines of what's happening. Ever since Swerve joined up with the mogul, with the whole mogul embassy and everything, Nana was there.
Yeah.
Even when the mogul embassy betrayed, Nana was still there. When the Hurt business was the Hurt Syndicate was trying to lure Swerve away, Swerve was like, nah, Nana is family. So if Nana would have been hurt because Swerve is not getting his jacket back and Nana betraying him, I would have been devastated.
Huh. That actually makes a lot of sense. And admittedly, because I hadn't been watching AEW for like the past few weeks. So like I've picked up a few things here and there, and that's okay. This is where it messed me up on my predictions over this past weekend, because Scoop got a clean sweep.
Actually, funny enough, it really didn't.
I didn't get a clean sweep. You did.
No.
So
you're right.
That's failure. That's failure. Anyway.
No, if I was doing predictions in here, I would not have got a clean sweep, because I was already wrong with that opening match.
Same. Me too.
Okay.
But the thing, because I was thinking more about it where they were like I talked about with Tony Khan's booking. He has, and not saying that he doesn't love Swerve, because he completely loves Swerve. But
yes,
Ricochet is a new toy, that he has in the back pocket, and he's been trying to push him the way that he's been pushing him in certain ways. So I figured that it was going to be kind of the same thing that he did with Kyle Fletcher, and just maybe build him up. But the way that you're talking about it, Scoot, with the whole relationship between Swerve and Prince Nana, is where all of this actually centered around. Ricochet was just a component of that whole thing. And if I would have been paying attention, I would have noticed that too, especially when you think about the end of the match.
Well, not only that too, but then also too, just like typical AEW fashion, Nana kind of gave it away too.
You talking about the middle of the match?
No. Not this past Wednesday, but I think the Wednesday before. No, I think this past Wednesday. No, actually, I think the Wednesday. One of these last 2 weeks, Nana kind of gave it away, because Nana told Swerve when when Ricochet agreed to the match, he told Swerve, he was like, boss, I've taken a lot of bullets, I've done this and done that, but if you don't get that robe back, I don't know if I can keep doing this shit. And I was like, well, thank y'all for giving it away. Thank y'all for kind of giving it away.
And I do like how they played it up in the middle of the match too, where they had like the whole disconnect where like he ended up pushing Nana and Nana walking off, flipping him off and everything. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah. I knew Nana was gonna come back out there. Like, no, that's gonna come back out. Like, there's gonna be some crazy fuckery that goes on here. They're gonna fight. Like, they're gonna fight over the coat, and they were fighting over the coat. I hate that it kind of revolved. A lot of this revolved around the coat and stuff. Yeah. Which didn't make a lot of sense. I mean, it did make sense. He wanted to get that coat back, but I kind of wish they would have done a little something different there. And it wouldn't have made sense for Nana to go be with like Ricochet or turn on Swerve. Like that would have made no sense at all, because Ricochet does not need. I mean, Nana does not need to be with Ricochet, and like vice versa. They don't need to be together.
But at the same time, stranger things have happened.
I mean, you're not wrong. It is AEW.
Stranger things have happened.
I gotta tell you, that vertebraker on the announce table, when the announce table didn't break. Oh my god, that was a crazy spot in the match.
This was a night full of motherfuckers really hitting each other with shit.
Like, that was wild.
And to that point too, it's like, because there was a part of me that was like, well, I feel like they're going to do something that's going to combat what happened at Elimination Chamber, so they're going to probably try to go hard in some regard. I was assuming that it was going to be something within the main event, but the fact that damn near every one of these matches had just some crazy spot, or just whatever, was made for a better card for sure. But I don't know if the intent was because of that. But regardless, AEW still brings it with their in-ring work for sure.
Yes. All right. But in case y'all didn't get that, Swerve wins, and he will be taking on whoever will be the AEW champion between Mox or Cope. And you'll find that out in the main event if you didn't know already. And the next match of the evening for the AEW Continental Championship, you got champion Kazuchika Okada defending against the Hounds of Hell's Brody King. And I'm going to let y'all gentlemen know this. These next two matches, between this one and the next one, when I tell you they lost my complete interest, they lost my complete interest. I'm so sorry. And this is going to lead into a question, because I already told Jugs. This is going to lead into a question that I'm going to ask a little bit later, but this is one of the matches that could have been on Dynamite or Collision, especially since Okada just defended against Buddy.
Yeah, this is where, and again, this is that little gray area that we have when we talk about long-term booking, because I get that sometimes that you have a plan and you want that plan to reach a certain point. I understand that, but at some point, if things along the way get entirely too stale and you can't pivot a certain way to make it make the wait worthwhile, then it becomes a problem. Because, for instance, and I know we're jumping between AEW and WWE with this, you think about the whole John Cena heel turn, when you think about the stuff with The Rock and him coming out and 1, 2, 3 with Cody, Jimmy, and Roman, and you think about his whole up and down switching and all this other stuff, and it's like, well, where's the story going? I don't know what's going on. And you get to the heel turn and it's like, oh, okay, all of this was made for the better. So when you get to a situation here where we think about potentially All In, where you have what is rumored to be a title unification match between Omega and Okada.
Spoiler alert.
Because they have way too many damn titles, and
we already know what the outcome could potentially be. Well, we know the match we're gonna get, and we know what the potential outcome is gonna be, which would be, as Scoop would say, spoiler alert for for a match in the future. Yes. Okada technically losing. Based on the previous storyline when it came to the more recently formed Elite, and then the shit that rolled Omega off of TV. So my thing is, it's okay to pivot, and like if we talked about the thing with Buddy Matthews, putting the title on him and having him run with the Continental title, and then potentially probably keeping the title on Konosuke.
Yeah.
And just having them run it to build new stars, because technically when you think about a match with Okada and Omega, it doesn't need a title.
No, they don't need title around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it be nice? Yeah. But personally, as somebody in the IWC who has watched these matches, I'm okay with watching a title unification match with two completely different stars who's willing to prove themselves, to make a better match and work for something. And then we still get the classic that would be an Okada and Omega match without a title. We already know what we're going to get with that. So the title, them fighting for a title, you already have a storyline within that. So with there being that little level of animosity, a title doesn't do anything but just add to it. So, but yeah, so with the whole thing with both Brody King and Buddy Matthews both losing in their hometowns is ridiculous.
Right?
There's a conspiracy there. It's terrible. It's Tony Khan. Tony Khan, you need to put a title on Brody King. But no, this match right here, like I said, there was no, basically little to no. They made this match at the last second. I don't watch Collision like that. I go like, what's the story behind this? But apparently, because Okada, he's been interrupting the House of Hell and stuff. It's been interrupting them, like flipping them off. Basically that's what Okada does. He just loves to flip off people now. That's what his character is now. It's kind of getting old at this point. I mean, the match was fine. It was like they did all right in the match, but yeah, this could have been on Dynamite or Collision.
Yeah, I just don't want, especially if you're going to repackage Matthews and King, they don't need to prove themselves anymore. So I don't understand.
No, they don't.
Why we keep putting them in matches in a losing effort that seems like they're constantly proving themselves to see, hey, are you going to fit here? Are you going to be worthy enough to be here? It's not necessary
at all.
So I don't like that level of booking. So,
but yeah, Okada retains, and the next match, once again, there's no way in hell that I see titles changing. But for the AEW Tag Team Championships, you got the Hurt Syndicate, we heard people, versus the youngest men alive, the Outrunners. Now, my confusion with this, because I must have missed something in translation. For the longest, they were building the Murder Machines versus the Hurt Syndicate. Then all of a sudden, the Outrunners pin the Murder Machines, and then now the Outrunners become number one contenders. And I was like, wait, what's happening here?
Yeah, because they said the Murder Monsters, or they had to beat a real team. Apparently, they haven't been beating real teams. And then they came out on a couple weeks ago on Dynamite. Well, they got distracted by theme music.
Yes,
by
they
theme
did.
music.
Yes, the Hurt Syndicate's theme music hit, and that's what caused the Outrunners to win.
Then they had the whole roll up, and that's how the Outrunners won.
Yes, you are not wrong. Theme music distracted them. You are absolutely right.
Also, to be honest, the Outrunners, their heat has worn off a little bit. Like they were on fire like back in October of last year. But they did nothing with them.
Nope.
To be honest. And also, I'm not a fan of their gimmick. Like, go
the
back.
Youngest man alive.
Take this 80s gimmick. They remind me of too much of Hulk Hogan, which leaves a sour taste in my mouth. And they remind me too much of Hogan. And I'm not a fan of their gimmick.
How could you not like the names of Turbo
Floyd
and Truth Magnum? Come on, those names are amazing.
I mean, I like the names, but I don't know. It's just this gimmick. I don't know if it works with this day and age. And like I said, I feel like the crowd felt really dead during this match as well. Yeah, this match right here. Yeah, I mean, we knew that the Hurt Syndicate was going to be retained here. Also, this match went on. We heard people. Yeah, this match went on a little too long as well. I thought this was going to be a quick squash.
Yeah, this match to me just screamed lack of chemistry between the two teams, and it's unfortunate because I didn't mind it when the match had first started, but then as it got rolling, there were certain miscues that I was seeing that I was like, oh wait, that looks a little awkward. That looks a little awkward. And usually when you have matches like that where you already know what the outcome is definitively 100% going a certain way, and everybody technically knows it. The one thing that I would hope for is to at least have a really good match. And with the lack of chemistry that the two teams had, it did sour it for me, and I was just waiting for it to be over because I just didn't care at that point. So, it was. And I hate saying it because Lashley and Benjamin look fantastic.
Absolutely,
they do look fantastic.
Absolutely.
So I hate to say that for me, that I would have just put this right in just the bathroom break match of the night.
Yeah.
But all right.
Also, this was
go ahead.
This was Shelton Benjamin's first time being on pay-per-view since 2021, which is crazy to think about. And also during this match, I was looking at hotels for New Orleans next year for Mania. So, yeah, I definitely didn't care about this match.
Yeah. Well, all right, gentlemen. From going forward, we are pretty much on all gas, no brakes until we get to the main event. But we're on all gas, no brakes, and we're going to get to the violence portion of this pay-per-view because arguably my match of the night, the AEW Women's World Championship.
This match should have been the main event. This match,
Timeless Toni Storm versus Mariah May, the Hollywood ending, and once again, just like they did, let me take it off. Just like how they did at Grand Slam, you have this, but then you also had this. The Hollywood ending, and I 1000% agree with Jugs. This should have been your main event of the night. My goodness. I'm still not the biggest Mariah May fan, but when I tell you the glamour has 1000% earned my respect, these two women went out there, showed up, and showed out. Jesus.
Yeah. Now, Scoot, you said something that's very poignant, and how you said that you weren't a big fan of Mariah May, but this match, kind of boosted it up a little bit. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but the reason why that is because it's her and Toni Storm, and her and Toni Storm have probably been able to orchestrate this entire trilogy of matches and found a way to make it work with capping it off with this match, which is why they're able to so eloquently label it as the end. Now, with what you said, there is my glaring curiosity, I'll say, where I'm like, well, what happens when Toni Storm is no longer the dance partner of Mariah May? Do we still get that same level of, her character work is good, but as far as
what are they calling her new nickname now? The something from hell. What are they calling her now?
I forgot.
Oh, I didn't even know that she got a new nickname.
Yeah, because they were calling her. She kind of like has
still like Timeless Toni Storm, and it's still the glamour, but they was like the something of hell. But yeah,
the woman from hell or something like that. I don't know.
I think it is the woman from hell.
But yeah, they got this new I like how they're having this new nickname with her, Mariah May. Like if they would have still been, she still is the glamour technically, but if they would have, just stuck with the glamour and all that, and switch it up. Also, that promo.
Oh, let me
that's
like here. Hold on.
That backstage, that backstage segment that they had this past week on Dynamite, that was like the best 2 minutes I've seen, like with her spit in the face of Toni Storm.
The things Toni Storm said to Mariah May. She said
you'll be good.
She said, I'm not gonna end your career, but I sentence you to a life of mediocrity.
Yeah.
And there we go.
And just know that you will never be as good as you think. They may cheer, they may boo, but you will never be great. Like and it was the fact of the way she delivered that shit. It was like Toni, goddamn. Like, I watched that promo like 3 or 4 times because I was like, wait, why did she go in on her like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, this match.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen of the Tag Nation, a few months back we had a F That Spot video. Any of y'all taking the champagne bottle to the crotch? Anybody?
Hell no. I'm
absolutely
not.
You know what? This part also alludes to
what happened with Kyle Fletcher.
Okay, so you know what? Okay, all right.
Oh, wait. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Right.
I got some parts.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So that means I wasn't the only one that had.
Nobody's taking the champagne bottle to the crotch.
Absolutely not. She made her period come early.
I mean,
yo, dude.
And remember, this was also retaliation for what Toni did to Mariah when she crushed her on the barricade. Oh, any of y'all taking a crotch spot like that to the barricade? Anybody?
No,
Anybody?
Absolutely
no,
not.
I'm sorry. No. I'm not trying to take that to my grapefruits. I'm not trying to take that to the ding ding. No, thank you.
Didn't they pull their blood sport moment?
Yes. Yes, they taped the fist and dipped it in glass. I was like, let's fucking go.
Anybody going through that? Anybody taking the pile driver through that table? Oh my god.
Yes, I will 1000%. Do it.
How about that sky high off the stage?
So this is the thing with me and my brother. If it's for a match of this caliber and magnitude, we will be willing to do the shit.
Yeah.
Like, to be perfectly honest with you, the things that was done in this match and the things that was done in this cage match for the feud, sign me up.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
There will be some spots I will be hesitant to. Kyle Fletcher, we will get to you in a moment. But for the spot and for the rivalry, for the feud, let's give them a fucking show. In this case, let's give them the Hollywood ending.
Yeah, but these women here,
the ending.
They were going all balls to the wall. Toni Storm didn't even get her full entrance in. They just started brawling.
They went at it.
These girls were trying to kill each other, and like all the blood that was everywhere. I mean, that's how you get hepatitis A through Z. Like,
yes, all of them.
All of them right here. Oh my god!
So it was reported that Toni did blade a little too deep.
Yeah, she did.
She was pretty bloody.
However,
she had a
it did make for a good aesthetic for the match.
Mm-hmm.
It of course it was a lot, and it did look like a lot when she initially bladed, because I was like, that's pouring quite a bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as the match continued on, it was like, I don't like that she bladed that deep. Well, of course, at the time I didn't know that she bladed that deep. I just knew that it was a lot at the time. So I was like, I hate that it's that much, but at the same time, kind of like Scoot says, for this type of match, the lasting impression is going to be just all of this, and the way that it ended kind of the same way, with just both of them technically wearing white and then just being bloody. It's just
this right here.
Yeah,
that right there.
Image. Frame it.
Also, this match, sidebar. This match makes me want to go see that movie, that Queen of the Ring.
Hey, okay, wait. ISO. Hold on.
Wait, who getting ISO? Who getting ISO?
ISO. Hey, it will go up on the channel soon. When I tell you Queen of the Ring is an amazing fucking movie.
Oh, you saw
it should be seen by wrestling fans. It's only in theaters for one more week, according to the director. But Taiki B and I saw it last weekend, and we were hooked. We were hooked.
Okay.
Shout outs to Toni Storm, who did her thing. Camille, who did her thing.
Oh yeah, Camille was in the movie. Yeah,
Yep, she was. Dr. Baker had a cameo. Mickey James had a cameo. Naomi had a cameo.
And you know what? You haven't seen Camille on TV for a while.
Oh, we have not. But when I tell you Camille was doing her thing in that movie, she was doing Queen of the Ring. It is an amazing fucking movie. And shout outs once again to the actress that played Mae Young. That shit, fam. That shit.
All right. Segue. Damaris Lewis.
Ooh. Go ahead. Gotta take the good with the bad, y'all. The facts of life.
Here's the thing, and I understand there's a level of naivety, innocence, and just complete lack of awareness altogether. But Jesus fucking Christ. And this is a layered thing, because this is one of the main reasons why people tend to say that kayfabe is dying. Yeah. Now, it is absolutely no surprise to, I'm going to at least say 99.8% of people. It is no surprise that wrestling, professional wrestling, is absolutely predetermined. We are clearly here on a YouTube channel talking about stuff and speculations about what could potentially happen and how things are booked. We know this already.
Matter of fact, hold on. I'm not doing you justice right now. Go ahead.
But for the sake, and this goes out to all the people, especially certain YouTube channels, I'm not going to name names, who think that it's okay because we're all adults and we should be able to handle this. We all know this. We shouldn't kick her when she's down. Here's the thing. We all grew up as kids watching wrestling. We believed this stuff. We enjoyed everything the same way that adults tend to watch TV shows and all this other stuff.
Watch movies.
Exactly. For the children, and granted, I know that there may have been children that may not have been paying attention to what she's saying at that point in time because they're so enthralled with being at the show. Hell, there's probably kids that were watching at home that didn't care that an adult was talking. But for the few kids that actually paid attention and listened to that, it's the same thing as telling a kid, hey, Santa Claus isn't real, the Easter Bunny isn't real. At least let them have that level of belief when they watch this stuff, because here's the thing. When you grow up watching this stuff and you don't know that it's predetermined, that level of emotion that you have with the engagement and enthrallment that you have when you watch this stuff carries on to your excitement as you grow up watching this as a fan. And these are the same people who are going to grow up and do shows like this, who are going to, go on to either do commentary, become wrestlers themselves, or do something within the business. The moment that you strip that away, you take away from what the future of this business as inside and outside of the ring, So for those of you who are saying it's not a big deal, it absolutely is a big deal. It is an enormous deal to those. So to some degree, at least keep kayfabe alive for the kids who do not understand that this stuff is not predetermined.
Yes.
But that's that.
So
now,
who said this?
The Mayor's, they did so on the pre-show, the director, the Mayor's who plays Babs, and the actress who plays Nell, they were there. And they did interviews on the pre-show, and then they was sitting ringside. Excuse me, and they was interviewed afterwards. And the director, Ash, was like, "Hey, enough about me rambling. Let's talk to the actresses that played Babs and Nell." And the actress that played Babs, Damaris, they asked Renee. Was it Renee or was it?
No, it was. I thought. What was it, Tony?
I thought
It might have.
Tony Schiavone.
It might have been Schiavone, but Schiavone asked, what is something you learned? And Damaris Lewis said, well, I learned that the wrestlers already know who's going to win before.
Yeah, she
Oh
said.
yeah.
Thanks for teaching me that.
So thanks for teaching me that. Now, in response, I don't know if y'all saw Camille's rebuttal to that.
No, I did not.
Camille did a rebuttal, and she was like, guys, y'all are taking what Damaris said too literal. She was saying, hey, us as wrestlers know we're going to be winners. We're going to be in the like. She spun the fuck out of it.
Absolutely,
she spun the fuck out of it. Like, I will 1000%, excuse me, give Camille props for trying her best to cause damage control for this situation. But Camille, the damage is there.
Yeah, I mean, and I said that there could have been lack of self-awareness, you know, the innocence, whatever. She may not have just understood it, and I get it, you know, but which is why I prefaced it just for the kids watching. As far as us adults, you know, hey, if you don't know it by now, surprise.
You must be living under a rock.
It's still real to me, damn it.
It's real. Hey, you know what? Hold on. I saw this Travis Scott shirt on his website. It says
I kind of want that shirt because it's on WWE Shop too.
It's on WWE Shop too. Wait, hold on.
I think so. That
Wrestling's real. Yeah, and then it has John Cena.
No,
rocking.
Okay, I'll look it up and I'll show it to you.
Yeah, I'll look it up right now.
But yeah, but next up, and I'll let y'all take this away while I look up this shirt.
Okay.
Next up for the AEW International Championship, you got the Omega, Kenny Omega, and the Alpha, Konosuke Takeshita. And boy, oh boy, when I tell y'all more and more I see Takeshita, the more and more I really appreciate Takeshita and what Uncle Don is doing.
There you go. There you go.
Damn it, I cannot believe
There you go.
I don't think y'all understand. For years, I've been fighting this virus, and yes, that's a pun intended for back when he was in WWE. I've been fighting this virus known as Don Callis. And for years, Jaeger and Dizzle was like, you don't like Uncle Don? You don't like Don Callis? And I stood firm, 10 toes down. Fuck no. But god damn it, I cannot deny what he has been accomplishing this past year. And Juggernaut has it, and I'm gonna show it to y'all right quick. But this
so there's the front of it, and then let's see, let's go to the back of it. It's actually looks pretty fine. It actually looks fire, but you see how much that $55 though?
Oh shit, I didn't know it was 55. That's all right. I'm good.
Yeah. I'm not paying. I mean, they could have.
They don't need my size anyway. So.
Hey, my size anyway. Well, you were 3X.
But yes, Konosuke Takeshita. I'm loving him. I'm loving Fletcher. But I will let y'all gentlemen take it away with Omega and Takeshita.
The people are gonna hate me for being so brief with this. No, I did not hate this match. I love this match absolutely, but it's one of those things, kind of the same thing that I said with Omega and Okada. This is completely expected. There's a part of me that hates that Kenny won because this is one of the more promising title reigns within AEW right now. Mm-hmm. And I hate that they had to take the title off of Takeshita. However, I understand. I get the storytelling behind it. The only thing that I hope is that you actually do something more with Takeshita moving forward. And I'm going to share the same sentiment with the next match, but as of right now, everything in this match was expected. I'm actually glad that Kenny is able to go at the same level, slightly different though, at the same level that he's able to go. A lot of the stuff that he did take was visibly brutal, especially with the torso shots with the table and well, actually both times with the table. But all in all, fantastic. But that's it for me. I just hope that they know what they're doing moving forward with both of them. So
Yeah, Dizzle, you said it perfectly. You know, I want them to, you know, keep this push going on with Konosuke. You know, like do something, continue to do something with him. I mean, this was no brainer. Kenny Omega was going to win here. I mean, he was going to win 1,000%.
mm-hmm.
I mean, the match was good, but I mean, I just wasn't into seeing Takeshita lose the title here. But you know, like I said, we're ultimately, you know, it looks like we're going to be getting, you know, that unification match at AEW All in Texas between Okada and Omega for the International and Continental Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, like there's just way too many titles in AEW right now, and the Continental Championship is just like kind of pointless at this point. I mean, the only time when it makes sense to do that title is when they do the whole Continental Classic. But to be honest, like going forward, that tournament, you know, sidebar, that tournament should be like it should be for like a number of contenders for like a world championship.
Oh, I was just okay. I was gonna say something like that, because I was gonna say that if they're gonna do that, then they might as well have the tournament as a number one contender spot for the unified title. But that also makes
or the
sense
unified title, whatever.
Yeah.
Or you could pick what title you want to go for. You know
or that too. I just don't think they should get rid of it. I think it's almost akin to like how the G1 Classic is in Japan. So I'm 100% with you on that. Yeah. But I will ask both of you this question. Since, and let's just say that is the destination that they're going for with All In for the title unification, what do they do with both of them in the meantime? And at the same time, I guess a secondary question with that, what the hell happens with the TNT title? Because personally, I've completely forgotten about it.
Yeah, Daniel Garcia's, apparently Daniel Garcia's, I think they're going to be doing Adam Cole.
So
and, Daniel.
I think Cole is going to get that belt off of Garcia. So that way Cole can start to, and I hate saying it this way, legitimize it again. No offense to Garcia. I love him. So I think Cole is going to run with that. And I think what's going to happen is it wouldn't surprise me if maybe Takeshita and Omega run it back again.
Okay.
Now, in the case of nope, that is not that man's name. In the case of the Rainmaker, I have a feeling he may go through a few more opponents. He may go through a few more people. And then after, I think everything is going to be much clearer after
Dynasty.
Dynasty, yeah. Oh. I think everything's going to be a little bit more clearer after Dynasty. And then that's when we're going to start seeing those feuds really start to take place and see what's gonna happen in y'all in, you know what I'm saying? So but for now, they still have to, in essence, keep them away from each other, but also let us know this is happening. We know we're not gonna directly just let you know, boom, Kenny, Okada. No, it's gonna eventually get there.
It's gonna be planting the seeds a little bit.
Yeah, thank you, planting the seeds.
Yeah.
Okay, then Jugs, to piggyback off of that, then, do you think that they're going to be able to tell, or rather, I want to say be able to, do you think they're going to tell a story that explains why they intend, hypothetically, to unify the titles up to that point?
That's a good question. I would say, I mean, maybe the only reason why they're
on my end, yes and no.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I mean, the only reason why they'd be unifying them is to kind of cut down on titles. But I mean, that's not really good enough story there. I don't know. Like I said, because these two guys don't need titles around their waist to, you know, put on, you know, to have a good feud. Because we've seen that over there in New Japan quite a bit. I mean, they have that history with each other. So I mean. Yeah, to be honest, I don't think so. No. Yeah, no.
So I think how I was gonna lead up. I got the international, you got the continental, title for title or some type of shit like that, and eventually it's gonna unify into whatever they're gonna call it after that. But
Okay, now that
whatever they
explains the
decide
other
to call
question. Do you think you're gonna be ballsy enough
to call
to
it the Intercontinental?
title?
No, they won't. They will not call it the Intercontinental title.
If WWE doesn't own trademark rights, I don't know. AEW could be ballsy enough.
Well, doesn't New Japan have an Intercontinental title? No, they used to.
They used to.
Yeah.
Wait, have anymore? Did I miss something?
Because they unified. They unified.
Yeah, they unified it. Yeah,
the IWGP Championship. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't know what they're gonna call it. I don't know. But
International Continental Championship. I don't know.
I mean, they could just call it the international. Like, I could see it of whoever wins, that's what the belt's gonna be going forward. So if Okada wins, it's gonna be the Continental. If Omega wins, it's gonna be the International. So we'll see. We'll see. But yes, Kenny O gets the dub. And this next match, y'all, when I tell y'all I was on the edge of my seat, and not because of the match was good, it was because of standings for this predictions championship. Because it all hinged on this next match. In a steel cage grudge match, you had the aerial assassin Will Ospreay going against the proto star Kyle Fletcher. And this was arguably my second favorite match of the night. Dizzle disappeared, y'all, but he will be back. But arguably,
he's eliminated from the Royal Rumble match.
Right? Arguably, this was my second favorite match of the night. And oh boy, this match was wild. This match was wild. They told a good story in this match with the whole, Ospreay wouldn't be as aerial as he used to be because, he has to worry about the cage and this, that, and the third. But they was going out there beating the shit out of each other. Like, we literally had 3 matches in a row where people was just throwing everything at each other for the sake of rivalries and feuds, and I loved it.
I thought I was about to see someone get murdered in this match.
You're not lying, Jugs. You're not lying.
Oh my god, this match was freaking wild. Like, when they went climbing up to the top of the cage, I was like, you know what? I was kind of wanting to see Canadian Destroyer. I always
oh my god, that would have been a murder. We would have literally had a murder.
I want to see a Canadian Destroyer off the top of a cage today. And people
I would hope there's nobody brave enough to do that.
Dude, that'd be wild if someone took that. Like, I was hoping that I would have saw, like, there was a cage match. I think it was between the Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks from a few years ago. I was like, please do that spot. But I got like, no, they ain't gonna do that. Like, someone would actually die. But no, that Spanish fly off the top, that was nice. Yo, that Styles clash into the thumbtacks.
Okay.
Let me ask you guys a question.
All right.
Will you guys take that spot?
Hey,
what do you think?
Once again, to reference our Fuck That Spot video, y'all taking a Styles class into some thumbtacks, preferably into the stomach and crotchal area of where you land.
Hell no, I'm not taking that.
Not if I have to wear that same attire.
He had thumbtacks on his dick.
Yeah, no, I don't think you have a cup
hurt.
strong enough to just like. Now my hopes is that he had a cup strong enough to withstand the potential puncture wounds, for lack of a better term. Give it a new term, the needle dick, for real. But I will pivot to say this, and this goes against everything that Scoot loves. but Uncle Callus has been doing a fantastic job with not only Konosuke Takeshita, but at the same time, Kyle Fletcher, his transformation. And I know that it's not all Uncle Callus. I know that Kyle Fletcher has to do the work as well. And he has done the fucking work. And that's a testament to him and the faith that Will Ospreay has in his friend. Because if somebody's willing to do the job for you and put you over at the expense of their own popularity, then you better do what you need to do in order to make sure that you make a statement on top of that. And his transformation from when he beat Ospreay up to this point now, character, storytelling, and all, absolutely fantastic. And I know that I said that, you know, I hope that they do more moving forward. I think it's going to be very difficult to not do something with Kyle Fletcher based on just one, the aesthetics, the character work, in-ring ability, so on and so forth. You can't not put a title on him and push him to the goddamn moon. Now, at the same time, Tony Khan is going to have to get out of his own way. Now, there have been certain speculations and rumors that Tony Khan is starting to listen more to people. And I hope that that's the case, because with the level of talent that you have right now, we do not need another CM Punk situation. This, at the same time, is also alluding to the main event stuff that's going on. But when I say we don't need another CM Punk situation, we don't need the roster being held hostage based on what you want to do with somebody else that you may favor more. Because what this whole company was built off of was to be against what the negatives that WWE stood for at the time. It's not that anymore, obviously, but this was for the indie darlings, the people that still believed in professional wrestling and what it meant to be a pro wrestling fan. This is what that's for. And slowly but surely it's turned into, Scoot would love to say this about me, turned into the thing that they wanted to go against the entire time. But
oh, that little short is coming soon. Don't worry.
Wow.
Don't worry.
But at the same time, the foundation of what AEW is meant to be is absolutely still there if you look within the meat and potatoes of what this card was. And this match is absolutely no different. And I think I wanted Kyle Fletcher to win for reasons, obviously, but at the same time, Will Ospreay is the absolute future of this company.
Yes.
Listen, he's the best wrestler. I don't care if it's in WWE, if it's in TNA, if it's in AEW, if it's in New Japan. He is the best wrestler.
So good. And
right now.
To that, I don't know who said it, and forgive me. And maybe it was Luke Owen. Maybe it was still in that same video, because he called it out, and I didn't notice it until he said it, and I was like, oh, you're right. But he was talking about how good Will Ospreay is, and at good as far as storytelling within the ring, and see how the most fit. So we had to switch up mid-match. And this piggybacks off of what you were saying, Jugs. He absolutely, with that level of awareness and knowing what you need to do in order to tell the story within the ring, you're not somebody who can't be in contention of the best. So 100%.
Yeah. And like I mentioned before, I am sorry, Ospreay, because I really wasn't familiar with your game like that. Because I'm not one to admit I didn't watch a lot of New Japan like that, and this and the third. So this is really my first time truly laying eyes on Ospreay like this in such a standing. And I must say, I understand him and Ricochet caught flack from that match they had back in Japan all those years back. But when I tell you that is far from just what this man really is, like, I cannot help but to side on the fact that fucking Ospreay is amazing.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Ospreay is amazing.
100%.
And you know, and I love like the final sequence. Top of the cage, Spanish fly. Then it led to Fletcher just like on his knees. I hate you. I fucking hate you. Fuck you. Then taking a vicious Blade Runner. Then picked up for the Tiger Driver 91. And it was like, by God, in this man already.
Yeah. And again, having him look good in defeat.
Yes.
You know, I wasn't a fan of seeing Mark Davis get involved in this match. I was not a fan of that. All that jazz right there.
Considering how it happened, I can agree with that, Jugs. I can agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if it wasn't going to lead to a Fletcher win, there was absolutely no point in this unless he was going to turn on Fletcher to help Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But no, like this match, they were trying to murder each other in this match. I really enjoyed seeing that Os cutter off the cage. That was cool. The avalanche there, that was dope. Even they brought out the screwdriver. That's going back to last October. At Wrestle Dream, going all the way back to that. I mean, there's a lot of layers with this story, which is really good, and I loved it. And they made Kyle Fletcher look strong in defeat here, like you guys said. And doing that Tiger Driver, whatever number it is, 69, 97, whatever number it is.
It's 91, sir. 91.
I could have sworn it was 69. I could have heard Sockface saying Tiger Driver 69
of horny jail, Jugs. Get out.
I heard.
Get out.
I think Sockface said that.
I told you the budget is running low of us bailing you out.
Oh, never mind. I got the numbers flipped around. Okay, yeah, it's 91. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Before we get to our main event, I've been having this question, and I thought about it. I wanted to ask it before the main event because, like I said to Jugs before, as of now, if we count 0 Hour in here, we have just sat through 12 matches. So shout out to the Jobber-Tears podcast, but they had a little mini debate about attention span and match cards because they were saying how they're appreciating what WWE is doing with their match cards, especially on pay-per-views, how you get about maybe 5 matches, boom, 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 you're good. And one of the gentlemen, Mr. Black, he was complaining by saying, y'all just don't have the attention spans to sit through a show like that. So I ask you, gentlemen, with this card in particular, and with cards we see AEW does it behoove AEW to potentially do a WWE move with some of their pay-per-views where we get about 5 matches? Because in all honesty, if this card was Hangman and MJF, Swerve and Ricochet, Toni and Mariah, Konosuke and Kenny, Fletcher and Ospreay, and Mox and Cope, this would have been perfection. Minus the main event. This would have been perfection if it would have just been these matches. So do y'all think with some of AEW's non-big pay-per-views, they should potentially scale back their matches? What do y'all think about that?
Yeah, I do agree that.
Well, match count.
I do agree that they should scale back how many matches they do on these shows because people don't like to sit through long. These people, like you said, people's attention spans aren't as long as they used to be. Mm-hmm. I mean, even here, watching YouTube videos, like people, want to watch shorts and all that. They want to get to the point. And when you have so many matches on the card, it just, some matches they start to seem to run together, and it feels like you're seeing the same moves over and over again. It's like, or like you see a whole bunch of like finishers happening, or like how many times have I seen like a Canadian Destroyer or a or what's another
a super
move?
kick or
A super kick or a Spanish fly, or something that that's overdone in wrestling these days. It's like you're like, man, I felt like I just seen that in the last match, and it doesn't make the match special, and it tires out the fans, especially the people there live. Sitting through,
like I said, we already 12 matches in.
Yeah, so and people there,
in.
and I could tell people sitting there, in the crowd, they don't care about some of these matches. Also, story has a big thing to do with it. But yes, I do agree that they should do, scale down with how many matches they do. Yeah, it's just, this scaling down with their matches is just they need to do that, because it's sometimes it gets tiring at this point. But yeah, taking a play out of WWE's book, because 5 matches, 6 matches on the card, and then also having a little break in between, that's a good thing. But here with AEW, it says go. After this match, you don't get a breather. No, you go right into the next match. Which,
all right, what say you, Dizzle?
Yeah,
it's more of a yes and no, and I think it's more on a case by cases basis, because I think you technically can have a show with that many matches, but the problem is every one of those matches have to be flawless, because the moment that you have a big card like that, the moment that you have one bad match, especially the placement, i.e. like we talked about with the main event here, it sours the entirety of the card, because then it looks like fluff, and then a lot of people stop thinking about what it was that they were watching before, and then they have the lasting impression on said thing here. Whereas if you look at a lot of the card in the middle, the only bad match that we really had that was kind of lacking for the most part, or I'd say the few matches that we said were lacking stood out the most, which would be the tag match, the TBS Women's Championship match, and to a certain extent Okada and Brody King. And we didn't really say that those matches were necessarily bad, aside from the tag match, of course. But when you look at how we talked about this entire card, we could easily pull those matches out of there, sandwich the other stuff together, and be like, hey, we got an excellent card here. But the moment that you start putting nonsensical matches there just to put people there, that becomes a problem. And that's to a disservice of AEW's roster, because again, like we've talked about before in previous episodes, the roster is entirely too big. So what Tony is trying to do is trying to fit people that he can on the card, which is when we get these bloated match cards on pay-per-views. Whereas if you look at the contrast when it comes to Triple H had enough practice with NXT Black and Gold, where he only had a certain amount of time to fit matches in. So it was like, okay, well, we're going to find out which feuds we have going on, and those are going to be the ones that get granted a spot on the pay-per-view. Everything else is going to be relegated to, NXT TV, or going to have to wait for the next pay-per-view. So when you translate that to a bigger time slot, now you can add maybe one more match. But what Triple H didn't do, he didn't sit here and be like, I got this much time, I'm going to go ahead and just add extra matches to fill that time. He's like, no, I'm going to take the matches that have the most feud power and the most storytelling ability, and I'm going to give them extra time to extrapolate that, so that way we can give more time to tell the story, to feed what we're actually trying to do in the long run. So that's where I believe that's where the yes and no come into play. So for Tony Khan, for him, I think if he's going to have this many matches on the card, he's going to need to make sure that there is story, time given, and the right placement for the necessary wrestlers to perform on each pay-per-view so that it makes sense versus just having a match there just to have a match there. Like with the pre-show, I'm not mad at pre-show matches because that's where they're relegated for. That's fine. But the moment that you take those types of matches and put them on the main card is where we start to have the issue of, okay, we got too many matches. So
yeah, and also, you know, Tony Khan, you know, he loves to, you know, get your bang for your buck here. You know, these pay-per-views are $50, you know.
Yeah. Which is another
like,
thing.
So he loves to stack so many matches on these cards. And he goes like, hey, he wants to get all these guys on the show. He's like, hey, he goes like, you know, all 10 of these matches are on here. And yeah, you guys are going to get your money's worth.
That's a good point. That is, I didn't think about that, but that also does make a lot of sense because if the intention is there, it's like, yeah, you guys are paying this much to be here, or you're paying this much to watch this, and I want to make sure that you give enough. But but at the same time with that, if you're not giving us what we're paying for, then it's just completely for nothing. But I do agree with that. That makes a lot of sense because I did not think about that.
And then right now, it's also becoming quantity over quality right now. Mm-hmm. Which it should be the opposite way. It should be we should be focused on the quality aspect of it.
Absolutely.
So
not how many matches you put on the show.
So to just kind of give some perspective, before the main event, we have seen almost 45 wrestlers. Between the pre-show and now, we've seen almost 45 different wrestlers.
Crazy thing.
And this is before the main event.
That is crazy.
But now, getting to it, the main event of the night for the AEW World Championship, we got Jon Moxley defending against the rated R superstar Cope. Now, we all got our own individual gripes about this. So, Jugs, I'm gonna let you go ahead and take the floor first. What was your thoughts on Cope versus Mox?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest here. First of all, they're doing my boy, that turtleneck god, wrong here. What?
Dude, he pulled the Jugs. I cannot believe he pulled the Jugs. Yep.
Hey,
I'm sorry, cool. Jugs. I'm sorry. You go just forever be linked to that at the moment.
Actually, there's other people that pulled like, you know,
That's
with their
too.
money bank.
Yeah, because Drew McIntyre pulled the Jugs too. You're right.
Cena's pulled the Jugs as well. I mean, there's a lot of people that's pulled the Jugs. But no, I mean, this match here. I mean, I'm tired of this Death Rider storyline because I'm just like trying to figure out what. I'm still trying to figure out what the end goal is, and like, it sucks that Darby Allin had to go climb Mount Everest.
Y'all in. That's gonna be y'all in. That's the y'all in main event. Darby versus Mox.
I don't. What I was talking about earlier, I think instead of it being Mox and Darby, I think it should be Hangman and Moxley, all in Texas. You know, doing that whole like you said, that redemption arc with him.
I do agree, but nah, it's gonna be Darby and Mox.
Yeah, which
I'm hanging my hat on.
I have a feeling that it might be that way, but this match here, I don't know. It's like. And we saw this, you know, at that Grand Slam Australia, how, you know, Copeland got put to sleep, and they're like, well, what makes you think he's gonna be winning the championship at Revolution here? Like, there was no way he was gonna be winning.
No.
And I was just kind of expecting like a lot more stuff to go down with this match. Maybe go like, oh yeah, because you know how they were trying to take out everybody from the whole Death Riders. I thought, oh, maybe we're gonna get like a debut, maybe like a Josh Alexander or like a Mike Bailey. Like those were some names speculating around that could be, you know, maybe helping out Moxley.
Actually, what I thought was going to happen didn't happen. Well, it indirectly happened. I thought Switchblade was going to fully just join the Death Riders.
Yeah, I thought Switchblade. I that was an
I thought Switchblade was going to join them, but he did unintentionally hit Cope with the case. But I thought Switchblade was going to fully just be like, nah, I'm with the Death Riders now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just over this whole feud with this whole Death Riders, and then the match is. it did not have that chemistry for me. I was just like, I was already tired at this point. I was like, yeah, I was over it. And then, like I said, making Christian Cage come out there, I like, yeah, this still make Adam Copeland look strong, you know, because like having you know, Christian Cage, you know, past that
pinfall basically.
Yeah, basically take the pinfall. So it does make him still look strong, but I'm just like, that was just a waste of it. Like, why couldn't they done like on Dynamite or something? I don't know. Terrible. I'm not.
All right, D-Slay, what you got?
Okay. Well, first, let me just go ahead and address the blatant, utter, nonsensical disrespect of the turtleneck god. Because where was the story originally going? Because I know you can't pay me or convince me to believe in any way, shape, or form that this was the way that his potential quote unquote cash in was going to work. Because
I told y'all how it should have went down. How it really should. Not to interrupt you, Dizzle. I'm sorry.
No, you good. You good.
Remember when Moose did what he did to Josh Alexander in TNA? When he cashed it, Darby Allin should have won that championship and y'all in, and Christian would have been like, "Hey, I'm gonna cash it in right now." That way, we would have got the high of, "Oh shit, Darby's winning the big one," and then Christian just sucks the air out the room.
Which would have been all to all the heel lovers out there.
Texas Stadium would have just went dumb if Christian
absolutely.
Yeah.
But whatever. But go ahead, Dizzle.
Yeah, and that's the thing there, because now, kind of the same reason why I switched my pick from Ricochet to Swerve in the predictions, because I was like, well, I don't think you should have two heels to have an opportunity at the championship that they can just either hold, because I didn't know what, you know, the match between him and Swerve actually meant. I didn't know if it was going to be an immediate title shot or if it was going to be something they were going to just wait, you know, and hold their time over, you know, because I knew Cope wasn't winning. So I was like, well, I also don't see Swerve jumping in to basically lose to Mox, because that's what's going to happen. This match between, I'm sorry, I'm deviating off, but I know this match between Swerve and Mox is really just to help, you know, intensify the rivalry at this point, to make it seem like Swerve is going to be the one to do it, even though he's really not. I know that TK is going to play this story out, because you've gone this far within the Death Rider story and you ain't pivoted yet. You're going all the way, period. So we already know, I already know Swerve's not winning. He's not beating Mox. So to have the only good bullet in the chamber that you have that's going to inject some life into AEW storytelling when it comes to the main event scene, Christian, everybody has wondered what's going to happen with this, because he's alluded to cashing in here and there, and it's always been stopped at certain points. You can't tell me that this was all in the plans. This is you out of all the times you could have pivoted from one thing to the next, you decide to pivot here and to take the one thing that actually makes the most sense within your booking, and you just say, fuck it, we don't need that.
Yeah, you think they do away with this after that?
They're not, but they need to. They absolutely need to, because here's the thing. Especially when you do something like this, it already at this point now means absolutely nothing. And I say that because this entire time, nobody remembers how anybody wins that. Nobody realizes that it's a thing, which actually made it a good thing at this point in time, because Christian hadn't cashed in. So that way, when it did happen, it would have been surprised. People would be like, oh shit, I forgot he had that. Or, oh my God, he, like, just this whole thing, because it wasn't something that was readily talked about on AEW like that. You just knew that he was walking around with that clipboard that had his opportunity. So be done with it.
This was the thing that made this stupid. Moxley only had Yuta.
Mhm.
Yuta and Switchblade kind of took.
No, you're saying his name wrong. It's Wheeler Useless.
I'm not gonna call him that. Moxley only had Yuta. Then you had the Switchblade debacle. Christian has a patriarchy. Where the fuck were the other two?
You know what I thought? I think what they were trying to do is like when they showed the ops there, I think they were trying to make it be like, okay, well, you know, they're probably going to get involved at some point.
But then I would have been okay with that. I would have been okay at the moment Christian was signing. Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian comes out there, and then the ops was like, ha ha ha, you thought.
Yeah, which actually would have made which would have made better for
because it would have made better because at least if the ops would have been fighting the patriarchy, then Samoa Joe be like, here's another funny thing. Let me take out Christian, throw him in the ring, and let Moxley Bulldog choke him. Kind of like how CM Punk did Drew McIntyre. It was like, oh, I just beat up Drew McIntyre. Here comes Damian Priest. Hey, Priest, here you go, big dog.
Okay. That actually makes a lot more sense.
But no, you had the turtleneck guy who has been one of the most cunning, devious individuals in this company cash in, and this is how it plays out.
Yeah.
He gets choked out. He suffers the pinfall loss.
I will say this one thing though, and I'll leave because I didn't give a shit about the match at all. I will say my piece, and Scoot, I'll let you go off after this.
Go ahead.
And Scoot, I'm gonna take one of your catchphrases too.
Go ahead.
You know that you tend to use here and there. I'm gonna say this. Don't argue with me. Argue with your mama. Cope, Adam Copeland, Edge should have stayed in WWE. Him being in AEW is a complete waste, and it is not necessary. I get it. You want to be around Christian, no problem.
You want to wrestle some new blood, whatever.
All of that. But it has done you an absolute disservice. At least with you being in WWE, you could have had a few main event matches. You probably could have won a title at that point. But being in AEW is a blemish on your career. A lot of people may disagree with that. There may be a lot of people that don't disagree with that. But as of right now, going off of what I have seen so far to this point, it was a complete waste. And I'm sorry that it has to be said like that. But from my perspective, this is pointless. And this main event proves it the absolute most, because when I watch Cope in that ring against Mox is actually somebody who benefited from going to AEW.
Yes.
And you can see that immensely. But with Cope, it seems like a complete downgrade to what his legacy is built off of.
He changed his name to Cope.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think he can cope. I don't think he can cope with that.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either, Jugs.
Hey, I'm gonna keep my day job. Yeah, that's a terrible joke. That's a terrible.
Yeah, this is yeah. At this point, it's just it's time to go ahead and let's go ahead and look at how much time you have left on your contract, so you can go ahead and end it, and go back to WWE, so that way you can just finish off your career there, at least 1 more, 2 more years, whatever.
I feel like they're gonna get. I feel like Christian Cage and Adam Copeland, or I'm just gonna call him Edge at this point. I feel like they're gonna get at least a tag title run before Adam Copeland's done over here in AEW, just to do a little bit of something.
He's either gonna have to turn heel with Christian, or Christian is gonna have to go through a whole storyline to turn face, because Christian as a heel is absolute perfection.
It is perfection, yeah. Yeah, I wonder how. Because I don't see him turning Adam Copeland heel. Actually, yeah, I don't see him turning him heel. I don't know.
I mean, not believable at least.
Yeah, not believable. Yeah.
But yeah, Scoot.
All right, so I know we got like 3 pay-per-views before y'all in.
Yeah, because we got Dynasty. We have Double or Nothing.
We have Forbidden Door.
Forbidden Door.
Yeah. Okay. So I know we have those 3. So I'm assuming this is the way it's gonna go. We're gonna get Swerve at Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like you were saying, Jugs, I think Double or Nothing, we might get Hangman. And I think at Forbidden Door, we might get Eddie Kingston.
Champion versus champion?
Nah, Eddie Kingston.
You think Eddie Kingston or
Eddie Kingston at some point has to, unless he's that injured, Eddie Kingston at some point has to come in and defend the fucking company. Let's not forget that. What the fuck? Kenneth Omega. What the fuck? Who?
Also, we can't forget about them you know, them EVPs, them young bucks. We can't forget about
Matthew
them.
and Nicholas. Where the fuck is the people to defend this? This man is still trying to hold the company hostage. And everybody who's not from the fucking company is defending it, except for the people who started the fucking company.
And then Moxley, is that title in the briefcase? I want to know. We haven't seen that title.
I don't even care anymore. I don't even care. I don't even care.
Damn,
I don't even care.
damn.
I'm so over this storyline.
Yeah.
I really am. Like, I just don't know what I want from this anymore, to be honest with you.
Ain't no telling.
But
this storyline makes me nauseated. I'm like, oh my God.
Moxley gets the dub after Bulldog choking Christian to death. He wins, and it bookmarked the end of this damn pay-per-view.
Yep.
Gentlemen, any last words for Revolution before we sign?
Overall, it was good. It was a good show for the most part, up to the main event.
So it's like it was a good show until it wasn't.
It was a good show until it wasn't a good show.
If this would have been the main event right here,
they
here,
could have ended with the.
Sorry. We forgot one thing. After Mox wins, Swerve went out and attacked Mox.
He did that massive swerve.
He did that massive swerve stomp.
He was looking like Batman. He was looking like Batman up there.
So we forgot to mention that you know Swerve did his swerve stomp to Mox to signify that, hey, I'm next up. I totally forgot about that.
It felt like it was one of those things where they call an audible. It was like, hey, Nana, go out there and get in Mox's face and say something real quick.
Right.
Because it didn't seem like it was like something that was planned, because it just seemed just off. I mean, again, it could have been planned. I don't know. But it just, the way it felt didn't seem like, you know. But
now, I will say this. The only thing, and I mean this by the only thing, because it was April 6th? The only thing that is going to save this storyline, because we know Pac, Claudio, and Marina have to come back.
Mm-hmm.
If some way and how, if Swerve align himself with the ops, and at least he have some backup.
Okay.
That would be the only thing.
That's intriguing.
But if it's nothing dealing with that, because it's going to be the same shit, because Swerve can't handle pause 4 men like that.
Damn. Yeah, I think you said pause after that.
But I don't know. But it's frustrating.
Oh no, 100%.
It's frustrating.
Same.
Basically. My man's over there lost for words.
I am, and it's only because like normally you can look at a lot of different promotions and you can look and say, okay, well, I can see this happening or this happening.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to Tony Khan and whatever booking team or writing team or creative team that he has, it's hard to pinpoint where they're going to go, because it just seems like, here, let's just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks, outside of the stuff that we really want to happen. Because I'm just going off of what we talked about when we talk about the Death Riders, because where it seemed like a decent enough idea at first and the initial payoff was really, really good, and as it went on, it went the same route as, and again, I hate saying this because I appreciated the beginning of this potential stable, Aces and Eights.
Okay.
Aces and Eights had a good beginning and the intrigue was there, but then once you started to peel back the layers of what they were going to be booked as, it was like, nah.
This is starting to feel like Retribution at this point.
I mean, I'm not gonna do that. Look, this part is a discussion for a different time, but I will say this: Retribution did deserve it better, because the idea of it made sense when you think about Ali within within the whole situation. But the execution of it was absolutely horrendous. But at least with Death Riders, their stuff made sense because all of them together are absolutely believable. And their execution wasn't bad. It's just right now at this point, it's just the way that they're booked and the storytelling, because nothing makes sense. Like I can't tell you what direction they're going in. I can't tell you why they're doing what they're doing. It's just a whole bunch of just speculation and just everything just up in the air, because again, you've said a bunch of stuff like, oh, this company isn't being carried, and again, paraphrasing, this company isn't being carried the way that it should be carried. We got a roster of people that aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. Okay, so then what's the end goal? What's the plan? What are you trying to accomplish? None of these questions have been answered, and that's the problem, is that nobody knows.
It's all speculations.
Nobody knows anything, because you didn't specify what it is that you're trying to accomplish. You just want to create havoc and just say a bunch of shit that makes absolutely no sense to anybody, one watching or anybody that's involved with this. So you've just made people not care.
Because these promos that Moxley does each week, I go, you're saying the same thing every single week, but like, what point are you trying to prove? You're beating up the whole roster, but like, what's the point here? Like, you saying, like people should, like saying how, we need to clean up the wrestling industry. You shouldn't be friends. Like, it's this weird what's going on right now. It makes my brain hurt. This whole Death Rider stuff makes my brain hurt.
Ridiculous. but yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. I got nothing else to say on that end.
That was AEW Revolution, and I'm gonna let the man himself go ahead and sign us on out this thing.
All right. Whether you loved it, hate it, don't forget to rate it, thumbs up, thumbs down, leave all your comments, questions, concerns down below. Make sure to tag that subscribe button, tag the notification bell, tag that like button. Make sure that you keep an eye out for whatever our boy Jugs got going on his channel, which of course at the end of the end card you will be able to see. You can follow his channel and go out, check out what he's doing, because he does a ton of live views, live reactions. He also does watch alongs with a lot of stuff too, so make sure you check that out. So by all means, have at it. But of course, until you hear these immaculate faces, hear these faces, my gosh,
hear these faces.
Until
hear these faces.
you see these immaculate faces and hear these oh so caramelic. I made up a word there. Voices.
Ooh.
I like that.
Yeah, because your boy is gonna be disembodied for a little bit.
We bid you all adieu. And until next time, you beautiful, 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 beautiful mother effers. Oh, wow. My bad, Jugs. You warm it up.
I'm warming up right now.
Sweet, man. My bad. See, I'm getting ahead of myself. See, the main event got us all flustered to the point that I completely forgot what we were doing, man. Let me hit up the Too Sweet before I sign off with my bros with a good bada, 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 bam.
Bam.
And until next time, you beautiful, 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 beautiful mother effers, tag the fucketh out.